All right. So this whole U-Stride New York City drama is nuts. And I do have to speak on it though, because in a weird way, I feel vindicated. So about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago, U-Stride comes up with this thing called Blitz Racing. He's like, oh, I'm going to be going different places and I'm going to be racing people. And I'm like, okay, cool. He was going to go racing with different people. So I hit him up and I said, hey, man, I'm down. I'm down to race. I'm right in your backyard. I'm in Worcester. He's in Dorchester. Dorchester is the southern section of Boston. And he basically dismissed me. Like, didn't even give me the time of day, and I'm like, I know I'm not known. I'm not one of the famous people on this EUC world. But I thought it was strange. I'm like, dude, I'm literally willing to race you in your Blitz. And I told him, I will race you either in Worcester or Dorchester. Name the time, name the place. Let's make it happen for your Blitz. And I knew saying this that there's a 95% chance he's going to smoke me, right? But unlike most people, I don't care if I lose. I don't care. I do it for the thrill, for the fun of it. And maybe I might win. Who knows? But the dude basically was like, dismiss me. So I started feeling weird. I'm like, is he really trying to race people, or what is he trying to do? Anyway, fast forward to this drama that just happened. So I'm going to be reacting to different comments and things and then give you my take on what I feel about the situation. So let's go with the first screenshot. Wheezy, the guy who beat U-Stride. Beating me will be super easy. You should watch the video of Kuji smoking me. You're going to get a new wheel easily, homie. Just let me know. Yo, he's already baiting you. He's already baiting U-Stride, like China. And then NYC Rider. You shamed all of New York City. Ain't that right? So they were, listen, New Yorkers, they were already plotting. They're like, oh, this guy's desperate for a race. So, yeah, you'll beat me. All right. So they're trying to, you could totally tell. Anybody who's seen Wheezy's videos, he's nasty, bro. He's nasty. Ain't nobody beating him easy. Seb Unitas per Chaos writes, Wheezy is known as one of the NYC's slowest and stiffest riders. It will be an easy dub for you. Oh, okay. That is so obvious what these New Yorkers are trying to do. They're like, yo, come here. Yeah, face Wheezy. You're going to beat him easily. No problem. They know what they were doing. They were baiting him to come in. Paco writes, nobody should abuse a rookie like Wheezy. Yo, these dudes, they were plotting. They were plotting. These New Yorkers, they was plotting. Let's see what the next one. I picked out my favorites because I went through the whole goddamn chat. I came into this. I'm like, 3,000 fucking messages. What is going on? So Wheezy writes, I do not drag race. He was responding to EUC Blitz race. I do not drag race. I suck at it, which I guess could be true. Race in real life or no race? And if you saw when Kuji went to New York, it was funny. I think Sean, his name is spelled like Hsiang. He does YouTube videos, EUC. He does pretty good videos. And he was like telling everybody, all right, who in New York City want to race Kuji? And you see all the New York riders, they're like, yo, they was scary in their own city. Let me tell you something. I'm a nobody, bro. If Kuji, first of all, he'll never come to Worcester. But if he ever did, and I was on my M10-3, I would race Kuji. Just to say I raced him, knowing I'm going to lose, I would race Kuji. I don't know why none of y'all took him up on that. Like, you had the legend was right there, and you guys just... Wheezy stood up to the plate, lost badly, because Kuji had that Kuji lean and just, it was over. So they were using that to bait U-Stride right here. Like, you know, he's telling him, but he does tell him, I do not drag race. I suck at it. I do real life stuff. You know, I don't do controlled environment. Let's see, give me a second to know the route. And then I think at that point, Wheezy was saying, yeah, go up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, kill your battery. But he was telling him, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, like it was so obvious. They were They were playing U Stride. Wheezy, maybe Bostonians don't BS. Talk is crazy cheap in NYC. Well, you know, I'll tell you this much though. And trust me, I got a lot to say about, you know, U Stride and what he did. But on the flip side, U Stride has went down to New York City twice and offered to race y'all. I know New York City's the Mecca and it's a lot of fun. You guys are the largest city in the United States, but y'all really don't go anywhere and race anybody in their own city. I don't see you guys coming to Boston. Tarzan did come up and did great at last year's Wheel Life Rally. I think he actually won the whole damn thing. So he represented, but other than Tarzan, some of y'all really don't get out of New York. So we got to go to New York. So I got to give U Stride that. Like, he goes down there. He doesn't do well, but he does go down there. So this is U Stride. I'm here. The race is for pinks. Anything goes, no excuses. You fall or get hit by a car, you still have to come here. Okay, so U Stride is basically saying, yeah, we're racing for pinks. And then Vision writes, Commander Pro Mini best suspension wheel. Yeah, dude, I love my Mini. Love it. I see why y'all like them things. Yeah, I fucking love it. Somebody shared a screenshot from Facebook. Antonio Vargas. Wheezy with no gear and pads still kick his ass. Wheezy, if I was there, I would totally snatch that wheel from dude. Fuck that bitch. Antonio, no hable así, papi. Don't talk like that, man. Everything gets saved on the internet and you don't want to get in trouble, bro. And I think I met you when I went to Alien Rides out in the Bay Area. You're a cool ass dude. Everybody there was cool. I'll get to them in a second. So New York Tarzan writes, nobody's going to race or ride with him. That's it. Antonio Vargas, New York Tarzan, I will give you 500 PayPal ready if you can take that wheel from him to give to Wheezy. I wish I was there, man. Please let me know. Let's work a deal, or anyone from NYC willing to snatch that wheel from him. Antonio Vargas, bro. All somebody has to do is take that screenshot. If U Stride were to take that screen, I mean, that's like a threat, dude, and that's online. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Oh, and then they start taking his name and they start making all these kind of Will wrote you scam, you hiding, and NY Tarzan, you go back to Boston. And that's another thing I have to get to about Boston taking a hit on this whole thing. I'm a Worcester rider, by the way. I ride with the Boston boys all the time, but I'm not a Boston rider. I'm a Worcester rider. What's Worcester? Yeah, I know. Nobody knows Worcester. So a lot of people think that U Stride and Boston is all the same. When I first started riding with the Boston crew, I remember asking, I was like, where's U Stride? I noticed he's never around. And the Boston crew, I won't say who in particular. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. But a few of the Boston riders were like, yeah, we don't ride with him. He's kind of an outcast in Boston. And they said that he basically rides reckless, crashes into people, and then blames others or doesn't take accountability. So he ain't even, the Boston people don't, we've never really heard from him. And I say we as in not just Boston, but we out here in central Massachusetts, we don't hear from him. I think out west, Springfield, Massachusetts, Cobra's territory, they don't really hear about him. He wasn't at last year's Wheel Life Rally. He wasn't at the he was at the Broadway Bomb. I think that I met him for 2 seconds. He seemed like a nice guy. But yeah, he don't really ride with the Boston crew. So when the Boston people don't even ride with him. So yeah, NYCE rider, he's right. He is an outcast, I guess, in the Boston crew. Wheezy writes, I actually did think he was a man of his words because he looked me dead in the eyes and shook my hand. It's all on camera. Yeah, I saw the same video and you can tell. And somebody already took that picture of his face when he's agreeing to the deal. He's over here like, yeah, yeah. He wasn't about that deal from the get-go. Will writes, yo, we planning a trip to Massachusetts. You totally butchered that word. You didn't spell it right at all. I'm just saying. To take care of some business though. Ain't nobody coming up to Massachusetts. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to U Stride. It's not gonna say. Now, if he shows up in New York, maybe something will happen. But I don't see anybody coming up to Massachusetts and going to jail over a wheel. This whole advocating violence thing is it's kind of annoying, dude. Somebody posted a picture where you see the street signs. Who was it? Ash EUC. He puts up some dope videos. Boston Road, Hoe Avenue. HOE Avenue. That's funny. It's funny. Will writes, he put his life, his will, and also his image on the line for a T. Not even a T for him. He also put other people's life on the line. LOL. Pedestrians of New York. Ustride put us all in danger for his YouTube content. Ustride didn't put none of you guys in danger. Ustride put pedestrians in danger, and so did Wheezy. Ustride put himself in danger. Wheezy put himself in danger. Wheezy puts himself in danger all the time, bro. And Wheezy seems like a really cool, nice guy. He really does, and I hope nothing ever happens to him. But I watch his videos going, damn, if the wheel, for whatever reason, decides to just shit the bed on him, he's gonna be in a world of hurt. I get very worried seeing riders ride like that, but I'm not the gear police. I'll never tell somebody you should wear gear, and that's the one thing I don't miss. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but last year when people would get all uptight about people riding without gear and you shouldn't ride like that, like a bunch of Karens. Get a life. Get a life. You're not going to convince anybody to ride how you want to. You can disagree with it, but you're not convincing anybody. Powertrip.nyc writes, I, on the other hand, would have gladly taken it. Really? You think that would have happened? Have you seen Ustride? He's not the littlest guy. Ustride was confident. If you look at the video, Ustride's basically telling them New Yorkers to their face, I know I did a deal with you, but you're not taking this wheel. And the New Yorkers did nothing. They did nothing. And that's smart. They shouldn't do anything. They should realize they got bamboozled and take the L, in a sense that he got content from you guys. NYCE Rider writes, EUC Boston is dead. No, it's not actually. If Boston is known for one thing, it's their long distance riding, and that's basically all because of Archie. Archie is the long distance king. Every city has their niche. Like I think San Francisco has the fastest riders. New York City probably has the most skilled riders in traffic. Them dudes in LA like to go up to Mount, what is it, Baldy or something? Like they love to go up the mountains. When it comes to Boston riding, they're long distance guys. They like to go state to state, city to city, town to town. They just go far. EUC Boston is not dead, not by a long shot. And I'm not EUC Boston. I'm EUC Worcester, all by myself. So Jediah Matthew, aka Ustride. It's simple. We agreed to do a blitz, but when I got to the headquarters, he changed his mind and said he's going home and left because I said I wouldn't do it for Pinks. So he had no regard for my time and his own word. So I played the same game he played on me for wasting my time, and he's upset. If that's true, if Wheezy said, now I don't think it's documented, so you have to go with what's documented. But if Wheezy said to Ustride, aka Jediah Matthew, if he said, yeah, I'll race you, and then Jediah goes all the way to the New York City, and then he switches up and he goes, hey, by the way, we're racing, but we're racing for Pinks. If he does that, then Ustride has all the right in the world to pull that BS he just pulled. Where, okay, yeah, I'll give you a wheel, and then not give him the wheel. If that's what happened, the problem is, it's not documented. There's nowhere where Wheezy's saying he's willing to race. From what I've seen, Wheezy from the start was saying, I will only race for Pinks. That's what it seems like. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. If Ustride's right there, then he might have a point. Because if you're gonna bamboozle somebody, don't be surprised when they bamboozle you back. Some other person, I can't see the name. If I have an EX30 for Wheezy, if Ustride doesn't pull through, it's one of them little toy things. That shit was funny. I wish I can tell you who posted that. I can see the picture, but I don't see. It looks like a female. There's no name. That's funny though. The little toy EX30. I want one of them toys. I would buy all of them. Who makes them? Let me know. All right, so Ronan posted a picture. It's you remember the Street Fighter? When one would be like this and the other guy would be all beat up. I'm gonna see if I put it right here. I've won your EX30 U-Stride. That is hilarious. UC said got all messed up, that being U-Stride and Wheezy being Ryu. Oh man, that was funny. That's a good one, Ronan. That's really funny. Ken writes, he looked hesitant. You're damn right he looked hesitant, because he knew he wasn't going to give up that wheel if he lost. U-Stride was not giving up that wheel. And he really thought he was going to win. Here's the thing. Okay, here's what I don't understand. U-Stride, I think, was so blinded for his desperation to get content. U-Stride is so desperate for content. This guy didn't really think about what he was doing, or didn't care. Wheezy, you're riding in his city that he knows like the back of his hand. He's a talented rider. He throws around that Master Pro like it's nothing, like I throw around my M10 III. You outweigh Wheezy by 20, 30, maybe even 40 pounds. Yet his wheel has a higher top speed. And you might have been doing practice laps with your wheel, chewing up some battery. And most of that race was just straightaways. Straightaways. Other than the lights, where you guys had to slow down, there was a big chunk of straightaway left. So if he was within 10 feet of you, 15 feet of you, because he had less weight and a more powerful wheel, you had no shot. You had almost no shot. And props to you for kind of keeping up with him, but you outweigh the guy and you have a smaller wheel. EX30. Master Pro's a bigger wheel, faster wheel, I think, too. You didn't have a shot, dude. What were you thinking? VPAX writes, y'all should boot this dude out of the chat for not keeping his word. I totally had bad dreams about this last night. It just didn't sit well with me at all. If VPAX is that dude with the do-rag in the video, the taller dude, yeah, he looked pretty upset. He looked very upset when that whole shit was going down. He actually looked like, if anybody was gonna get like physical, it would have been him, because NYCE rider looked just really disappointed. Wheezy looked kind of shocked, but VPAX, if that's the guy with the do-rag in the video, he looked like he was pretty pissed off. So this is EUC Vibes. This is his take. This video better explains U-Stride's point of view compared to last night's response. Earlier, it seemed that no one knew it was a demo wheel he couldn't put on the line, but U-Stride's saying now that he mentioned that beforehand. The plot thickens. I can see him being upset that he came from Boston and due to no pinks, he couldn't get the race going. Yeah, I think, you see, that was bad planning on U-Stride. Did somebody actually agree with U-Stride to race him before he left to New York? Because if they did, and then they switched it up, then that's really messed up. And then they deserve to be hoodwinked if that's what happened. But I don't think that's what happened. I think U-Stride just show up to New York, and because of the amount of riders that are out there, and I would know because I did the same thing. Because I showed up to Manhattan and I put up a video on the New York chat saying, hey, I'm here, who wants to do a little mini Broadway bomb, just me and somebody else or whoever. Nobody responded. And I'm not saying they were scared or anything. They were probably busy. I don't know, but I got no response. So U-Stride went to New York thinking, you know, he'd get somebody to race. Nobody was down to race him. And I can see him getting frustrated just being in New York City all day, just waiting and being so desperate because he drove down there for content that he's willing to destroy his reputation just to get some content and lie to get somebody to race him. Ken writes, funny when Wheezy passes him in the tunnel, you hear U-Stride say, what the frick? Yeah, he does that. He be, what the frick and holy cow. It's, yeah, that's funny. Das Shorts writes in response to saying that wheel will give you a big ego, the Master Pro. He writes, King Song will sober a person right up. That's funny. That is funny. NY Tarzan, this is potentially biggest drama of the year. Yeah, it probably is. And what's funny is this ain't the first time U-Stride is part of some drama. Remember when he took out Roger? And I don't think that was on purpose. I don't think Zen Lee set that whole thing in motion. I just think U-Stride was riding a wheel that couldn't handle his weight and his power and what he asked for the wheel, and it just cut out on him. And poor Roger got taken out because of it, which sucks. New York Tarzan writes, I'm down to race anyone, pink slip. New York Tarzan is the last person I would race for a pink slip. I've seen that dude race in person, and he's on another level. Yeah, I wouldn't race that. First of all, I wouldn't race anybody for pink slips. That's just stupid. Unless you're rich, you can do shit like that. And Ken writes, it's funny how calm he is, talking about U-Stride. It's like, yeah, I tricked you, but it was a good race. Haha, not nervous at all. Why should he be? Ain't nothing was gonna happen to him. People push for violence, but they, the people who really are violent don't really talk about it. I know a little bit about that type of shit. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and I've seen some really violent people, and they usually don't talk about violence. They just show up. And now you got input from Boston. Archie writes, to NYCE rider, U-Stride doesn't ride with the Boston crew. It's true. He don't ride with nobody in Massachusetts. He's a lone wolf. He belongs to you more than us. It's kind of true, man. U-Stride has shown himself more in New York than he does here. We don't see him. He does belong more to New York than he does Boston. That's Archie's on the money with that. NYCE rider responds to Archie saying he doesn't belong here. He's more Boston than New York City. What the F? Take him back, dude. No, I don't think Boston wants him. Boston doesn't claim him. And I'm sorry, NYCE rider, he is more New York than he is Boston. He shows way more interest in you guys than he does anybody in Massachusetts. And then Archie explains. Archie writes this. It's all public. Not public, but it's in the chat. He would hit people from behind and then said he never did. And then Daz Shorts, in quotes, I gave my life for a fucking boba. Wheezy 2023. Yeah, it's and then Live for EUC responds to Daz saying, need this on a shirt, please, and thanks. That would be an epic shirt. That would be an epic shirt. I did all this for a fucking boba. Oh, man. Archie writes back to Izzy, don't feel disrespected. To me, that you won is bigger than the actual price. And that's the point, man. If somebody shows up to Worcester, again, nobody's going to show up to Worcester, but let's say somebody shows up to Worcester and I'm not working and I happen to be in the city and he or she goes, hey, I just pulled up. Who's racing me on a EUC? I'm getting my gear and I'm showing up and I'm racing. Am I expecting a wheel? No. Am I expecting anything? No, not even a cup of coffee. I'm doing it just for the sake of racing. Just to race. Why do people have to do pink slip this and pink slip that? If you're really about racing, you'll race anybody, anytime, anywhere. It's not like Archie's right. That video, if you've seen that video, I've seen the video with Wheezy and U-Stride. That might be the best race video I've ever seen, like city race. That was amazing. When you see Wheezy get low like this and he puts his arms out and he just kind of crouches into the wheel, it is a sight to behold, man. That was just skill on another level. And you could just see him pulling away and U-Stride just beeping like crazy, going, no. It reminds me of all the Shermans that start beeping when they ride next to my Commander because they can't keep up. But that's my wheel. That's not me. Yeah, dude, nobody can take that away. Archie's right. Nobody's going to take that away from you, dude. Dude, you're a badass. You won the race and you won it without freaking power pads, I think, and without gear, which is nuts. Dude, I hope you put on gear. I'm not the gear police. I just hope you change your mind on that, dude, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will eventually get really, really, really hurt. I hope I'm wrong, but if you keep riding like that, you might get really hurt. Again, people are trying to blame E-Wheels. E-Wheels has nothing to do with U-Stride as far as this event and this whole deal. That had nothing to do with that. I don't know why people are trying to put this on E-Wheels. Somebody posted a picture of U-Stride's face when he's making the deal. You can just totally tell he's not doing it. He's not. Can't believe y'all didn't pick up on that. Pedro Tortello. Somebody took a screenshot of a Facebook post. Are the New York riders representatives of the EUC riders around the world? What's the point of that post? And then the poll, the highest number of votes was no, they are all crazy and egotistic people. I disagree. No. New York City, you have to ride a particular way in New York City. You can't ride in New York like you would ride in the middle of Idaho, or in España, or in Great Britain, where I think the speed limit is like 15 miles an hour. New York City is a different beast, man. I don't know why you're trying to crap on them, you know? And I noticed that a lot from people around the world. They kind of hate, and I think some of it's jealousy. When they see the New Yorkers ripping through the streets, they get really, I think they get jealous and they want to hate. Don't hate, man. Just try to change the legislation in your country or your city, town. Evan writes, everyone here in Portland thinks y'all are loud and annoying, plus you're all slow. That's from Evan. Or Tep? I don't know. EUC Zaddy, he played all of you, came to NYC and hustled NYC. He did. Ustrad went to New York City and played New York. He definitely did that. Boston wins again. I'm telling you, when it comes to sports, man, New York City may have two teams in each sport, and they still can't fuck with Boston when it comes to sports. Okay, here's why I'm wearing this shirt, all right? First of all, it's a great shirt. It's a cool looking shirt. Well, actually, before I get to that, Das Shorts responded to Evan dissing New York. He goes, what's Portland? That's hilarious. That's a great response. That's a good response. Okay. Alien writes, hey, because Ustrad backed out of his agreement, we are going to sponsor Wheezy one free EX30. Wheezy doesn't know this yet, but here's the announcement. Congratulations and keep on being Wheezy. Alien rides for the fucking win, bro. And let me tell you something. I know for a fact, me personally, I know that they're not doing that for clout, and they're not doing that just to get likes. You know why? Because me, a nobody, especially last year when I was just starting to put out feelers for the documentary, I showed up at Alien Rides. I thought they were just going to be like, yeah, no, we can't give you a tour today. You know, because I asked them, hey, can you show me around? Because, you know, I want to film a documentary, this, that. They treated me like family, bro. Like, it really, I left there feeling amazing. They were so nice to me. They let me try the Extreme Bull K6. There's video of it for nothing. They just, yeah, go try it. It's cool. They gave me a tour. I'm horrible with names. I believe his name's Kevin. But the Alien Ride guys fucking gave me a VIP tour of their whole, and told me about like their building and their what they're doing. They were so fucking cool to me, so chill. And obviously, I wasn't gonna go there and not spend money, so I bought this shirt to show love, and then they gave me some free swag. They were so chill. They are fucking killing it in the community. And the only reason why I didn't order the Commander Mini from them is because they didn't have it, and I needed it. When I ordered it, I needed it then and there, and the only people who had it at that time was E-Wheels. And E-Wheels, I already got a good track record with them. I can't go wrong with them. But I originally looked at Alien Rides, but they didn't have it. So I had to go E-Wheels again. But Alien Rides, these guys are great. And I'm sorry, guys and girls, because they got female staff too. And they got some badass female riders. Well, every city, a lot of cities have really badass female riders. We got one too. Oh, the state of Massachusetts has one, but she's out in Boston. They're great. Alien Rides is amazing. And they just, man, they hit it out the ballpark with this, man. Wheezy, I mean, he's gonna get his EX30, and good for him, man, because the way he raced, yeah, I mean, he really did put his life on the line. We like riders that stand behind their word and are willing to come out of pocket to make it right. Alien Rides. Alien Rides for the win. Although, yo, shout out to Alien Rides. Shout out to the whole Bay Area. You guys are cool as shit, man. I can't wait to fucking ride with you guys one day. Ronan writes, it's not eWheel's fault that Ustride Tech is betting property that doesn't belong to him for pinks. Yeah, he's right. Has nothing to do with eWheels. Nothing. Earl Zed, he's from Toronto, Canada, I believe. Electric Unicycle Group doesn't like our Ride 1 videos. They don't like how we ride in Toronto as well. Shout out to the dudes up in Toronto. I'd love to. Toronto is, I can drive to Toronto. I mean, I can drive anywhere, but time-wise, I can actually make the drive to Toronto. I can't wait to ride with you guys. They get down in Toronto. They got some bad riders up there. And by bad, I mean some really good riders. Speed Queen wrote in response to Alien Rides, best thing I've read in the last 24 hours. Yeah, you're right, Speed Queen. And I'm sad you couldn't make it to the Worcester Takeover, but, you know, stuff happens, and hopefully you'll make it to next year's. Goose writes, he'll just go ride scooters like a real bitch. Yo, what's up with scooters, man? They're cool too. I mean, yeah, it doesn't take much to ride them, but still, scooters are cool. That's how I got into the game. Eco Rico M3 scooter. Bought it back in 2014. Only put like 200 and something miles on it. But that's how I got into the PEV game. NYCE Rider says, where he's from, it's just him and trees. Well, Boston is another beast. I'd like to see some of y'all race in Boston. I'd like to do some racing in Boston. I'd rather drive in New York City than Boston. Boston's crazier in a sense that the roads are just, there's one ways and it's all squiggly. And at least in New York, you've got a grid for the most part. Boston's a horrific place to drive. And I've driven in 48 states. And Boston is still the worst. EUC Zaddy writes, FWIW, I don't know what that means. Next time any of you race someone, don't let them punk you like Ustride did. Number 1, win the race. Number 2, don't let them welch. I have a hard time believing that EUC Zaddy, Mick EVX person, I have a hard time believing you would have taken that wheel from Ustride's hands if you raced him. I get really annoyed when I see people advocating, because you're in a sense you're kind of advocating for violence with that post. Now, yeah, you could be trolling, but it's not a good look, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. One-on-one, nobody was gonna take that wheel from Ustride. He represented Boston. He went down to New York, got his content, and left. And not a damn thing happened to him. And it's fine. It's good. And that's how it should be. You shouldn't resort to violence. Like, don't do deals with people you don't know. And I don't know why it takes pink slips for you New Yorkers to race in your own city. You have the advantage. You know the city. Why do you have to put up pinks? Why is it when Coogee went down there, y'all were like crickets? And the only one to race him was Wheezy on a style of race that he doesn't even like to race. I'm starting to think Wheezy's the MVP of New York. Really, him and Tarzan. Those are the two MVP riders of New York City. Play some videos.
No. What do you mean to win? Everybody knew the outcome. What? The man was riding beyond his means.
He was. He's totally right.
Archie, you don't know what's going on out here, bro.
That's Wheezy talking. See, when he says that,
his favorite rider, bro. What do you thought?
When he says, hold on, you don't know what's going on out here. I'm telling you, what they did was they lured Ustride in, the New York riders, by saying, yeah, Wheezy, he ain't. They lured him in because they were gonna get together and go for theirs. They were gonna prop their man to victory, so that one of theirs can get a new EX30. That's what they were doing. But Ustride outsmarted them, outmaneuvered them, called checkmate when he got his content and got out there with the wheel and left with the wheel. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, Alien Rides is like the biggest winner of this whole thing. But no, I'm very happy Wheezy got his EX30.
Wheezy's winning. At least somebody wants something. You didn't get a wheel? But he got a boba out of it.
Yeah.
Yo, you got spillage, man. You got spillage.
My life on the line.
With this boba, yes.
Put my life on the line for a boba. Yo, that's hilarious.
This was a great race, but I gave Wheezy too much room. I gave him way too much room. Something I do is I allow people to go ahead, and then when I get to where I think the finish line is,
You allow a Master Pro to get ahead of your EX30 on a straightaway? That don't make sense.
I then passed him, or that's my goal at least. So that's what I ended up doing. I followed him a couple yards before the tunnel. I passed him, but it was too late because in the tunnel, halfway through, he just bolted, dude. He passed me. I topped out at 53. He said he was doing 56, 57. So
The lighter guy had the more powerful wheel on a straightaway. What do you think is gonna happen?
what I need to do, if Wheezy wants to do this again, for real, not tricks and playing tricks and stuff like that, because he plays tricks, I'm not gonna be light on him, because I was extremely light on the guy.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, don't do that. Just take your L. Don't make excuses, man. You were not light on him. You were pushing your wheel to its max limits. You were beeping like crazy. You were thinking you were gonna cut out, and he just passed you with the bigger, more powerful wheel on that straightaway. The lighter guy passed you. It's a small man's game, man. If you're a smaller guy, you're gonna have an advantage. I'm not saying the bigger guys can't win. They could definitely win, but being lighter, you're gonna have an advantage.
I'm not sure.
With a bigger, more powerful wheel, like
Why I didn't just go. Why did I
in your own home city.
to follow him? I already knew the route. But anyway, it is what it is. I got to see how he rode. He's a great rider,
Yeah, he is.
but he's not really a challenge for me in traffic.
What? In traffic, from what I seen in the video, you were behind him for most of the time. He wasn't a challenge. This just looks so bad. This looks like oh man, you just come off as someone who just is making excuses and you're pulling at strings. Take the L. He's better than you. He beat you. And even if, he's lighter and has the better wheel, the fact is you agreed to a race and he beat you. And you agreed on pink slips and you took the wheel and you didn't give him the wheel. So even if he was playing games, let's say I go to, I don't know, Miami, where nobody ever races. Let's say I go to Miami and I say, hey, I'm pulling up, I'm gonna race somebody. Who's racing me? And I don't hear anything. Or even if someone agrees to it and says, okay, I'll race you, and then I show up and they're like, yeah, we're gonna race for pinks, and I'm, well, what? I'd be like, no, I don't care how long I was in Miami. I would just say, then I would post a video saying, hey, I was down a race, and then they try to pull a fast one on me, and I'm sorry, but I'm the visitor. I'm not gonna put my wheel up for a race. I'm not gonna put my wheel up, especially when I'm in enemy territory. Not even enemy territory, but when I'm in a city that I don't ride in. I'm not doing that. That's simple. But you were so desperate for content that you took it as him playing you. But I think you were just mad that you were waiting all day. Nobody was taking you up on your offer. Although you had somebody in your own backyard who was wanting to race you. But again, I'm not popular enough. So
On the stretch, forget about it. I can't give him any leeway whatsoever. Amazing guy. Anyway, Wizzy, if you want to do this again, you have to stop playing games, dude. Let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, peace out.
the thing is, the only person that looks like they were playing games is Ustride. Wheezy doesn't look like he was playing games. And maybe Wheezy was saying, like, from the jump, I'm only gonna race if I'm doing pink slips. Maybe he was saying that from the jump. We don't really know, but I get the feeling that that's actually what really was happening. And then somebody did a video of the Wheezy and Ustride race for pinks, the last stretch in the tunnel.
Too soon, Junior.
Whoever did that, great job. That is hilarious. I wish I knew who did that. But that video is epic.
We're about to race for Pinks. What's the agreement, guys? Let's talk.
Agreement is winner gets to keep both wheels.
Okay.
Correct?
All right. Where's the race? Like what?
When he said correct, U-Strider was like,
HQ Kung Fu T28 St.
yo, it's so obvious he wasn't willing to race for Pinks.
Yes.
But he did shake on it,
Master
though.
Pro for EX30.
EX30.
Master Pro for
Winner
EX30.
gets to keep both wheels.
Winner gets to keep both wheels.
All right, you
And
guys
he
wanna
said,
shake on
okay.
that, or?
And then they
Oh,
shook on
shit.
it,
It's right
and he
now.
gave him
Yo,
that
just
smile,
look at
like,
it.
eh.
Yo, my
And
God.
Wheezy's excited because he knows that he's gonna
Race
win.
for Pinks EUC version. Yeah.
He's very excited because he
All right.
knows he's gonna win.
I'm gonna go ahead and park that tunnel. Yeah, finish line. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna have it on video.
That's,
who
I
wins.
think, NYCE
All right, cool.
rider. Yeah. No, Weezy knew he was gonna win. But yeah, no, you guys shook on it. You guys shook on it, and what you did at the end of the day, you shot. Unfortunately, man, your desperation for content, not a good look, bro. Like it's done for you, man. I don't see how you bounce back from this. The only thing your only saving grace from this, honestly, even if Weezy did pull a fast one on you by saying, "Yeah, I will race," and then he doesn't, you got to show some hardcore documentation. You can't just say that happened. You have to show it in writing or voice messages or videos that that's what he did, that he basically lured you to New York and then changed the terms on you. If you can prove that, that can save you. But it doesn't look like that happened. It looked like you were just frustrated because you were waiting in New York all day to race somebody. You could have just came to my neighborhood. No, now it's done. I don't even want to race you. I'll race anybody but you, because you had your chance and you basically blew me off. So that's why I feel a little invested in this whole situation, because, you know, I was one of the people that was like down, and I messaged him personally and nothing. So that's my take on the whole situation. Proud of Alien Rides. Great job. Great shirt. These are great shirts, by the way. Great job, Alien Rides. You guys are awesome. E-Wheels is not to blame for what happened. U-Stride, your reputation, man. Weezy, nasty, bro. You got skills. Congratulations on that EX30. I'd love to race you one day, but it ain't gonna be for no damn Pinks. I'll buy you a boba. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do something for Worcester, for you. Next time I'm in Manhattan, if we bump into each other, I'll announce I'm coming a day ahead of time. And if we bump into each other, I'll hook you up with one of them boba teas. I don't drink boba tea, but if you want one of those, or a pizza, whatever New Yorkers like to eat, I'll hook you up. Lunch is on me. As a token, as an olive branch from the state of Massachusetts. I'm not a Boston rider, but as an olive branch to Weezy from the state of Massachusetts, I got your lunch, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't racing you for no damn Pinks, though. I'll race you. I'll race any of you New York riders, but it ain't gonna be for no damn Pinks, okay? So anyway, that's my take on the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, check you later.